Yeah, welcome back to another video, guys. Remember, I was talking to you guys about the DNA plasmids, about how they put that into the water systems, and they put that inside those mRNA things. I have to say the word things. I can't use the V word, so I have to say the word thing because there's certain things that if I say on here, I can get censored. So I have to be very careful. So right now, I am on the. You can't see my screen, of course, but I'm on the NIH's website because there are three ways they can get these DNA plasmids into you. And if you don't understand what I'm talking about, you're like, why is this guy talking about DNA plasmids? What I'm talking about plasmids, because if you follow the sequence of my videos, I've been breaking down to you guys of how the origin of COVID came from two snakes. Two snakes. They used geneticists found this out using DNA practice by using something called squared Euclidean distance. It was confirmed. Even CNN had a report and wrote an article saying, but they used the word could come from snakes. But we understand that it did come from snakes because the DNA does not lie. The narrative that it came from bats from China is not true. And I've been going on a journey with this, and I'm just like a layman. If I see things that I don't understand, I just look them up and I try to piece the puzzle together the best way that I can in order to make sense out of the chaos. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm the holy grail of truth. Do your own research, but this is just me sharing the things that I'm finding. And I talked about how they can get the DNA plasmids into you. Now you're saying, what's the big deal about DNA plasmids? Well, if you insert a snake protein inside a host, the host being us, we are the host, we're carrying the DNA plasmid, we inject it with the snake protein. That means that whatever they want to put inside of you within the construct of that snake protein, because protein is a source of the development of an organism. It needs protein to thrive. So we become walking vectors, meaning that we become the agent or the holder of whatever they want to create inside of us. So our bodies becomes an agent of disease. So in order, they can make us sick anytime they want because we already have the spike protein of that snake in us. The protein it can actually proliferate more organisms that can be to our detriment, of course. Then you factor that in with the small plasmids that are very, very tiny. That means that whatever they want you to become, you could become. Meaning that whatever illness they want to insert inside the system can affect everybody because we all have that protein or that snake protein in us. And it's usually going to be something that's going to deal with the respiratory system. All right, I've been breaking this down. So the last video that I made, I talked about how they use the water system to make everybody sick. And I talked about how snake venom is water soluble. So you can drink it. You can drink the venom. You're cooking with it. You can take showers because your pores are open when you're taking showers. Your epidermis, the layers of the skin, the water can seep through there. I even read to you guys an article I read to you guys an article about what they did in Nazi Germany about how they used the water system to poison the people and to run experiments on them. They actually mixed in certain metals to see how they can mitigate certain factors. They were basically using these people as guinea pigs. So the water system is a way to reach people on a wider scale. Rather than going house to house, you could just infiltrate the water system at the treatment centers. Because when they put chemicals in to treat the water, they can also put in what they want to put into the water systems to affect everybody in that region. And we all know most industrialized countries, in a matter of fact, all industrialized nations, they pay their governments to supply them water. That's a one-stop shop. If a terrorist wanted to break down a civilization, just go to the water systems. Just go to the treatment facilities of those water systems, and you can actually flood an entire population with a pandemic, whatever you want. And I know that's what happened. There's no way that an isolated event in China got passed on over here. No, it was in the water system. It was a global effort on a wide scale, a mass eugenicist project. That when people look back at the history of this, they're going to understand that was the biggest scam in American history, bigger than 9/11. This COVID fiasco. So you talk about how can they get these plasmids inside of us? You can get it through the mRNA thing. Okay, you can get it through that. You can get it through your water system because people were already getting sick. Because remember, the narrative of some people who are being called conspiracy theorists and being called quacks the main thing with that was that people were saying, well, if I go get this injection to prevent me from getting SARS-CoV-2, I think the government is trying to get people sick with the injection. No, because I read to you on the NIH website, it said that the mRNA thing does not carry the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Because we all know how vaccines work. You have to have a little bit of the virus to combat the virus in order for you to build some sort of artificial immunity to that virus. We understand that that's how it works. So if COVID was about COVID, if COVID was about the SARS-CoV-2 virus, why did not the mRNA vaccine and the injections, why did they not have that in there? You were supposed to have a little bit of the coronavirus. You're supposed to have a little bit of the SARS-CoV-2 virus in that injection, but it wasn't in there. So what were they injecting inside people? They were injecting DNA plasmids inside people. That's what they were injecting. They were injecting DNA plasmids inside people with the toxic venom of those 2 snakes that I talked about. Now, again, I said this on the other video. People, the natural question is, well, people were already getting sick before the mRNA thing came out. Before the vaccines were even introduced, people were already getting sick. So you can't say the vaccines got people sick. The vaccines weren't getting people sick. No. It wasn't getting people sick. People were already getting sick. Well, the reason why people were already getting sick is because the water systems were already being tampered with. Not only the water systems, but also the air. And this is why I'm making this video. So I talked about DNA plasmids, and I looked online. I'm here again. I'm on the NIH website. I'm not getting this from an alternative news source. I'm getting this from the main things that people go to, the main things that the CDC goes to, the NIH. This is reputable stuff. This is National Library of Medicine. Okay? So this is not some fringe website that you guys can say that I'm being a conspiracy theorist. I'm just reading the information that they give me, coupled with the information that the mainstream media gives us. So I take all the content and I mash it together and I try to pull out and extract what makes sense to me, and I leave off the rest. That's what critical thinkers have to do. It's work. It's not, you can't just sit on your ass and just be given information, because then you could be manipulated. You have to put in a little bit of effort. Now, I'm not a historian. I'm not a researcher. I have a family. I have a job. So I'm limited in how much time I can spend in this. So I may not be even giving you the full gamut of all the information that you need. I may not be giving it to you 100% totally to have everything, because that's not my job. I don't sit at the computer all day doing this. I just, moments when I have time, I kind of take myself away, go to the office as I'm sitting in right now, and I try to do what I can do. So I wanted to see, is it possible to spray DNA plasmid from the sky? And remember, I do make videos about stratosphere aerosol injections. I always talk about, hey, look at the sky, look at what they're spraying. Whatever they're doing up there is not good for us. They can spray whatever they want to spray on us. They've been doing this for years, all right? They call it geoengineering. It's part of the weather modification systems. Even the weather that we get isn't real. Even the skies that we think are real are not real. That's a whole nother subject for another day. Let me stay on subject here. So how are they getting people sick? Well, it's 2 ways, and a third way was introduced with the mRNA thing. Okay? But the mRNA thing wasn't supposed to be giving you the virus. It was supposed to be building something inside your DNA, hence the term gene therapy. That's why you hear people say mRNA vaccine is gene therapy, and it's this and it's that. Okay? Now I looked up, can aerosol plasmids, all right, be sprayed? And it says yes, aerosol. I'm on the NIH website. It says aerosolizable plasmid DNA, dry powders engineered by thin film freezing. Thin film freezing. They can engineer snowstorms. They can engineer freezes. They've been doing this to us, folks. They were doing this before 2019, which is what was leading people to have these upper respiratory symptoms. And if you look at the effects and the symptoms of snake venom, everything that we were going through is exactly what snake venom does. It paralyzes you temporarily from the ability to smell. All right? It doesn't kill it. It just temporarily stops you from having the ability to smell, to taste. Some people will have a ringing pain in their ear. Some people will have chest pain, hard time breathing. Those are all symptoms. A lot of people around that time were getting, your eyes were red. But it wasn't like pink eye. Your eyes were just red. Like not not bloodshot red, but like a reddish hue, a thin film of red in your eyes because the water that was coming down from the shower. We're all being poisoned by the shower system, via the water system, and then also from the skies. Because I'm just reading on this article that it's possible. It says aerosolizable plasmids, DNA, dry powders engineered by thin film freezing. Aerosolizable means that it can be sprayed. When I talk about stratosphere aerosol injections, that's what they're doing in the sky. They're spraying stratosphere aerosols in the stratosphere. They're spraying aerosols on us, and we are inhaling that inhaling the nanoparticulates, the microplastics, all that junk that's not good for us. And they are very bioavailable. When I say bioavailable, I mean that it's gonna induce life in you, but not life like living. It's gonna, whatever detriment, whatever ailment that it's gonna cause, is gonna actually cause it to replicate faster. It's bioavailable. Bio means life, so it's available to your life system. It connects to your life system, and it thrives within the host, within the person, within you, within me. So it's bioavailable. That's not good when something that's a toxin is bioavailable when breathed in through the respiratory system. Then it starts crossing the blood-brain barrier and it gets into the neurological pathways, and there you go. You end up being messed up for life. So here, the aerosolizable plasmid DNA, they can be sprayed on you as dry powders. I'm reading here, it says the study was designed to test the feasibility of using thin film freezing to prepare aerosolizable dry powders of plasmid DNA, what they call pDNA, for pulmonary delivery. Okay? Dry powders of plasmid DNA formulated with mannitol/leucine with various drug loadings, solid contents, and solvents were prepared using thin film freezing, TFF. Their aerosol properties: mass, median, aerodynamic diameter, MMAD, that's the abbreviation, and fine particle fraction, FPF, were determined, and selected powders were used for further characterization. So it's possible. It's not that it's possible. That's what they did. That's what they did. So it's the classic case of create the illness, create the reaction, then provide the elixir. Make you sick so you can run to the hospital so we can give you something else that we really want to give you. It was never about giving you the virus. It was about making you believe that the virus was out there in the sky somewhere, keeping you locked in so you can be sick inside. Ask yourself this critical question, people. Does the government and the country benefit off of people getting sick, or do they benefit off of people being healthy? So let me go to the extremes and speak in hyperbolic terminology so you guys can understand this. Would it be much better for 100%, and I'm being hyperbolic because there's no way that 100% of society was ever going to be healthy. But let's just use that for the sake of the point that I'm trying to drive home here. So, would it be better? Would it be more beneficial to the systems that are currently in place via the government, whether it's the FDA, the WHO, local health authorities, pharmaceutical companies? All of those are just one huge conglomerate, and then they're all together, right? Will they benefit more if 100% of the population was healthy, or would they benefit more if 100% of the population was unhealthy? Let me give you a second to think about that. Would they benefit more? Now, when I talk about the they, I'm talking about the pharmaceutical companies, those governmental agencies, the scientists that are gaining funding to research things on how to cure people, cancer research, all of that stuff. It's all one big conglomerate, right? All of those together. Would they profit more if 100% of the population was healthy and thriving without them? Or would they benefit more if 100% of the population was sick? And if you answered the second one, you are correct. They would benefit more if we were sick. It's a capitalistic game, folks. It's not about your health. It's never been about your benefit. It's about control, oppression, and suppression. Why can't you guys understand that? Since when have we given off our brains to other people to take care of us? No one can take care of you better than you. But we've allowed them to write the history and create the narrative, or create the metrics of what nature provides. In other words, we are made to believe that there's a boogeyman around us everywhere we go. And that boogeyman is classified in different things. It's classified in war. It's classified by terrorism. It's classified by dangerous storms that come out of nowhere. And all these things that I'm telling you, whether it's the war, whether it's the storms, whether it's some kind of biological pandemic, these are all things that are manufactured by them. They control the spigot. They can choose which way they want to go. It's a way to control the masses by psychological operations upon the mind of the people. And if we can get you to think on a fear-based foundation, then we can get you to do anything. If you're always operating off of the worst, then you're always going to be reaching out for the best. And if they're telling you that we're going to provide you the best, they have you hook, line, and sinker to connect to their narrative and their agenda, i.e. you become a slave because you are operating off of the premise of fear. They tell you to be afraid of this, to be afraid of that. There's viruses in the air. There's flu season. But little do you know, they're the ones that started all this. Whether it's modified, folks, whether it's engineered. I don't care what anybody says. You think those wildfires in California are just happening because it's nature? That's not nature causing that. It's them interrupting the course of nature, interrupting the hydrological cycle of the planet by causing anthropogenic droughts that drains the leaves from its moisture, that makes it very dry. They're the ones causing it. The symptom of their intrusion upon nature is causing the wildfires. That's not nature acting out naturally. It's because men have tampered with nature. Men for a long time has tampered with the genetics and the genome of human beings. Isn't this mRNA thing that we put inside of us, that you guys decide to put inside of you, isn't that somehow, some way, something that's dealing and working within your DNA? Isn't that tampering with the DNA constructs of the human? I don't think the creator of the universe needed man's help. Man would not exist or be here if it wasn't for the creator of the universe. The creator of the universe knew exactly what it was doing when it created plants and vegetables and natural substances and herbs and sunlight. All the natural things that we frown upon, that we look upon as evil. So that's the plan. We were being attacked, trifold, three-pronged attack. By the water systems, 1, by the inoculation, 2, and by what they were spraying in the air, 3. And before anybody was getting wise enough to understand what this was, they were also killing people with toxic medicines, toxic protocols, palliative care, vancomycin, remdesivir, putting people on ventilators. Do the research, folks. Don't listen to me. Do the research. Does anybody need a ventilator who can breathe on their own? No, you don't. But because when you are in fear, you don't think rationally anymore. Just give me whatever I need because I'm going to die. Says who? I don't know too many people who died at home because they had this COVID thing. And I remember around that time I got sick. You know how many times my sibling, because my brother, he subscribes to this. He subscribes to the mainstream narrative. Everything, get your vaccine, safe and effective. Take your this, take your drugs, take the eat. Me and him, we don't see eye to eye. I mean, we get along, but we don't see the world the same way. Oh, you need to go get tested. You may have COVID. Why do I need to go get tested? I don't need to get tested. There are plenty of times growing up. I grew up in Nigeria. We had bad drinking water. I had worms in my stomach growing up. I'm fine. I'm still alive today. The body has a way of repelling germs. The body by itself could repair itself. We don't need toxins. I remember when my mother was pregnant with my younger brother. She had these bad stomach pains. I remember my grandmother going inside the village, getting some leaves, getting some concoctions. I don't know what the hell she was doing. She got some leaves. She got some stuff. She rubbed it on my mom's belly. In about 5 minutes, my mom was feeling better. She never experienced those pains again. Whenever my mom felt sick, she would always go to the village to visit my grandmother. I didn't see her getting medicines from a pharmaceutical company. Everything that she did was from plants. And yes, the pharmaceutical companies, they do get their medicines from plants, but they also mix in toxic chemicals with it. That's the psychosis of white supremacy, folks. It's a mixture of nature and their psychosis amalgamated into one, and it produces nonsense. Because a positive and a negative still produces a negative. You cannot put good things inside of a person and mix it in with bad and say it's good. That's psychotic. That doesn't make sense. Either it's all good or it's all bad. There's no half and half here. There's no such thing as moderation. Drink your toxic chemicals with moderation. Don't drink too much energy drinks, but drink it when you need energy. No, don't even drink it at all. A lot of things are sold on the idea of moderation. Nobody kills themselves moderately, so why kill yourself moderately with toxins that you're putting inside your body? It's not good for you. It never will be. It never has been. So that's what they've been doing. And we've bought into it. I was sick, man, really sick. Coughing up all sorts of mucus. I was weak, but I got better. You know what I did? I just drank a bunch of ginger and drank a bunch of orange juice. Like real orange juice, not the orange juice you buy from the store. I mean a juicer, juicing that stuff. Cabbage. I just ate greens, man, and I got better. My body was a good thing. That's healthy. My body was excreting those toxins, getting it out of me. It wasn't my job to go to the doctor to be given a medicine to stop the symptoms to make me believe that I've gotten better. Sometimes when you're sick, your body needs to go through the cycle of excreting those toxic debris out of your body, and it's gonna come out through your excretory organs. It's gonna come out through your nose because that's excretory. Excretory means to exit. Excretory organs means the way things get out of you. It can come out through your eyes when your eyes get watery. That's why sometimes when something gets in your eye or dirt gets in your eye, you rub it, but it gets kind of watery, it gets kind of mucousy, and sometimes you may get teary-eyed. That's your body responding. Okay? It could come out through your anus when you take a dump. That's the way your body's releasing toxins. You could pee it out. That's another way for your body to release toxins. You could sweat it out through your pores. So the body has ways of excreting toxins, and sometimes your body needs to shut you down. It'll weaken you so it can actually use all of its strength and all those enzymes to focus on pushing out that toxic debris, which is why you're weak. So take it as an opportunity that this is just the way my body's healing itself. I'm going to make sure that everything I eat while I'm sick are things that are fueled by microbiome, and you will be fine. And I was fine. But you know what? If I was ignorant and ran to the doctors, they would have did some PCR tests, said I had COVID, put me on their protocols. I probably wouldn't even be here today. I'd probably be dead. They would have injected me with all their stuff. Take this, take that, take morphine. No, you don't feel this. Take that, take this medicine. No, man, the body heals itself. The body's a healing machine. I don't even like to call the body a machine. It's an insult to the body. The body is a divine element that has it's a mystery how the body repairs itself. It's almost like that Wolverine concept where, Wolverine gets hurt, he just heals quickly. That's how the body is. You could get a cut and the cut will heal itself. The body's always trying to heal itself, constantly getting rid of old dead cells, going through apoptosis. As the body goes through cell death, it's regenerating itself to get new cells. So there's a death and life principle that works within the construct of the human body. It's an ebb and flow. It's a harmonious balance between the two. Death is always occurring with us daily. We're dying every day, but as we're dying every day, we're also living every day because those things that die are being regenerated and are being replenished in order for you to be new again. It's like the shedding of a skin of a snake. It's shedding its skin. It looks disgusting, but it's new skin that's being put forth. But as long as you're eating right, no matter how old you're getting, no matter what things are falling off, you're still being replenished and being regenerated by eating the right things. So this thing about, this virus came from Wuhan, those are all lies. The DNA, we've been injected with DNA plasmids. And those plasmids, if you don't understand what they are, you're changed forever. And the snake proteins that are inside you, you become a walking vector and a host capable of having many types of diseases being put inside of you. So we are the cash cow for the pharmaceutical industries moving forward. We are the virus that they were trying to eliminate. Thank you guys for listening.